In this video, we will finish section 1.8. We've talked about algebra of functions and function compositions during class, but we never got to difference quotient. So in this video, I will go over 3 examples on page 5 and 6 and show you how you can simplify difference quotient. In calculus class, you guys will actually use this to find slope of a tangent line. But for right now in pre-calc class, we're just going to practice how to plug it in and how to simplify it, okay? All right, let's see. So here is the formula that will be given to you. And what we need to do is find what f of x plus h is. That's going to be the hardest part. And then subtraction sign in the middle, and we'll just subtract f of x from that. And it's all over h. So I always kind of look at these two pieces separately, and then we combine everything together. So let's go ahead and try this difference quotient with the easier linear function first, okay? So they said find the difference quotient for the function below. Simplify your answer as much as possible, okay? So for the linear function, 2x plus 3, I will need to first find, well, let me go ahead and set it up as a big fraction first, okay? Because difference quotient is a fraction, right? In the bottom of the fraction will be what? Just h. I got that down, right? So that's good. The numerator, listen, numerator is f of x plus h. What does that mean? They want you to plug in x plus h into x. So let me go ahead and circle this, okay? I'm going to go ahead and plug in this binomial, this parenthesis, x plus h into x. So where is x in this function? In this function is 2x plus 3, right? So I will go ahead and, hey, hold on. Oh my goodness, my pen is, stop. My iPad's slowing down so much recently. So I'm going to plug in x plus h in there. Okay, so let's write that down. So write the 2 first, but instead of 2x, you want to say 2 parenthesis x plus h. So we just wrote this part, and what else? Plus 3. That's it. We got what f of x plus h is. All right, hold on. Let me erase some stuff now. That is this. Okay. What's next? After that, we need to do minus, right? So do the minus sign. And then we need to subtract the f of x. Want to draw a parenthesis because we're about to subtract a function, okay? What is f of x? F of x is 2x plus 3. So write down 2x plus 3 inside that parenthesis. And this part right here is f of x. I try to use colors to show you how these f of x plus h and f of x changed. And now, if you set it up, all we need to do is distributive property and combining some like terms, okay? So it's going to be easy from now on. All right, let's set it up. Let's go ahead and distribute not only the 2 over here, 2 is getting distributed, but don't multiply 2 by 3. That 3 is not inside a parenthesis. And also distribute this negative 1, okay? So I will get a long fraction bar. I'll get 2x plus 2h plus 3, right? And then if I distribute the negative, I will get negative 2x minus 3 all over h. And the beautiful thing about difference quotient is that a lot of things will cancel out. So let's see if we notice some opposite terms. There's a positive 2x and there's a negative 2x. Guess what? Those are canceled out now. Do you notice anything else? What else can be canceled out over here? I notice there is a positive 3 and there's a negative 3. So those will get canceled out. So next step, we write down what's left on top of the fraction. The only thing that's left on the top of the fraction is 2h over h Now notice what gets canceled out this time. There's h on top, h in the bottom, h's get canceled out. So what is your final answer? The final answer is simply 2. Alrighty, that is how you do a difference quotient for a linear function. Not bad, right? Hold on. Now we're about to do quadratics, okay? And that is a type of problem I plan on putting on your first exam. So let me go ahead and restart this app. It's so slow. I may have to like reset my iPad or something. All right. See my, everything got canceled out. But I'm sure you wrote it down. All right, hold on. Let me go ahead and fix this up. So I said this is canceled out, right? This equals 2h over h. And h has got canceled out. The final answer was just 2. All right, let's do another one, another difference quotient. I can go ahead and copy the formula down there. Down here. I swear to God, this app, you know, I'm sorry. Unfortunately, I don't know how to edit videos. Like, you know how someone, forget this. It got rid of all my writings again. But let us do difference quotient for this one, okay? So let me go ahead and write down the formula over here instead of copying it. I got this memorized. I'm not going to ask you to memorize it because it's open note. All right, so I wrote it down. First thing that we're going to need to figure out is f of x plus h. So draw a long fraction bar, put the h in the bottom. But let's plug in x plus h wherever we see x, okay? How many different places do we see x? There is x right here, but there's another x right there. So don't only plug in this parenthesis into the first one, you need to plug it in to the second one too. So let's write down this, but let's replace all the little x's by x plus h. Let's do that. So I will say -3 parenthesis x plus h, close the parenthesis and square. I just took care of this term, right? What's next? Plus 2 open parenthesis and put x plus h and close parenthesis. Ah, that's beautiful. We are done with this part. So what I just wrote, this looks like the whole thing, but not yet really. It's just that part, okay? So guess what we still need to do? The rest of it, right? So I'm going to have to extend my fraction bar a little bit longer. What's next? We need our negative symbol. So minus sign, and put the parenthesis there because we're going to put f of x in here. So what is f of x? F of x is just this. So you're going to have to write that down. -3 x squared plus 2x. And we are done setting up the numerator. Now what we're going to do is that we're going to have to multiply and distribute and combine some like terms to simplify this. I want you to make a note over there on the side, like somewhere, note. We're going to come up with a rule that we will keep on using for a long time. Write down x plus h squared. Write that down and say, never ever say this is equal to x squared plus h squared. Every time you do that, a kitten dies. Don't do that. You cannot distribute this squaring, okay? That's not it. So what we're going to do is we're going to FOIL it out once, and that will be the last time because we will just memorize it and we will keep on using it, okay? So you can write down x plus h squared is x plus h times x plus h, right? Let's expand this. If you FOIL it, you get x squared plus xh plus, I was going to write hx, but let's just write it as xh. And lastly, h squared. Combine these two like terms in the middle, you will get x squared plus 2xh plus h squared. I want you to have this in your toolbox from now on and know anytime you see x plus h squared, know that it is x squared plus 2xh plus h. I need you to know that so that we don't have to FOIL it out every time. Okay, so they're the same thing. And we have it over here. We have it right there. All right? So let's go ahead and write the next line down. This is same as negative 3. Oh, hold up. Let me draw a long fraction bar and put the h in the bottom. Parenthesis, x squared plus 2xh plus h squared. When you are doing the difference quotient for quadratic, you will always have that piece. So I want you to just know what it is so that you don't have to FOIL it out every time. Okay, it's like our own theorem. Oh, it's the truth, it's the fact. All right, now remember we have to distribute some numbers. I'm going to distribute the 2, and I will also distribute the negative. And so let's get those 2 out of the parenthesis. I'll get plus 2x, and not just h, but plus 2h. Keep going. Negative times negative is positive 3x squared. And then the last term, which used to be a positive 2x, is now negative 2x because we multiply it by a negative right here. Okay, I gotta distribute it one more time here. I need to distribute the negative 3 to these 3 terms inside. So what's that going to be? Negative 3x squared. Be careful. Negative 3 times positive 2 will give you negative 6xh. And what it used to be on h squared is now going to be on negative 3h squared. And I'll just bring down the rest of them. They're just waiting. All over h. Now, it's fun time. Pick up my crayons and start circling some like terms because they're going to now cancel out. What cancels out? There is a negative 3x squared, and there's a positive 3x squared. Those are canceled out, right? What else? There is, what else do you see? Oh, there's positive 2x, and there's negative 2x. Those are canceled out. But that's it. Those are the only things that cancel out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and write down the leftover. What's left on top of the fraction? I have negative 6xh minus 3h plus 2h, and they're still all over h. Now notice something for me. All of them on the numerator have h. This term has h, this term has h, this term has h. I don't know why the squaring didn't copy down. Sorry, this one has 3h squared, so I had to have the h squared there. All right, so what I'm now going to do is I'm going to pull out the h to the front. I'm going to factor out the h. If I factor out the h, the numerator will become negative 6x minus 3h. But notice how the second one had h squared. So even if I factor out 1h, it's still going to have 1h left. That's why it is minus 3h. And the last term is plus 2h. Close the parenthesis. And guess what? That h that we just pulled out, what can happen to that? It's going to cancel out. Therefore, your simplified difference quotient is negative 6x minus 3h. Plus 2h. Oopsie, sorry. Plus 2h. So, it's not difficult. It's just you have to be very careful because you're FOILing, you're distributing, you're combining like terms. There are many terms. That's what makes it look kind of bad. But if you just do the first step right, like if you can set up the difference quotient by figuring out what f of x plus h is, then after that point it's just going to be algebra, okay? Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop this video because I think I already recorded number 8 yesterday. So watch the next video if you would like to know how to do this one. It's very similar, but instead of a binomial quadratic, this one is a trinomial quadratic. So in your first exam, I'll give you this problem, the trinomial one, as like a problem that has 2 points bonus built in. I'll let you choose one. If you are okay with this one, you do that regular one for 5-point regular credit. You have to know how to do this. But if you want to try that trinomial type, I'll give you 2 points bonus points. Okay? Alrighty, so that's it for this. I will be back with 2.1 lesson very soon.